The following recordings detail the activities of a government agency that officially does not exist. Since 1928, they have protected humanity from the forces of darkness, with honor, but without glory. Declassified recently, these files have become known as the Danger Files.
Dangerlings, Merry Christmas, by the way. Believe it or not, this is our Christmas episode. This is coming out 27th of December. And what better way to celebrate the holiday season than a little bit of paranormal adventure as we attempt to somehow steer this spaceship into land and do what I think is going to be the concluding part, we'll know by the end of this, of the Danger Files.
Hey, Feliz Navidad.
Oh, is this when we're actually going to use our pilot skills now? Finally,
yeah, you're going to get in the spaceship.
Aliens crash.
Actually
go joyriding.
Quick, go get that bitmap plane and we'll speed after that weird bug.
Yeah. Yeah, that escalated quite quickly, that last episode.
It really did.
It did. It was all about quick escalations, that episode. Like burning someone alive. Again, it was just like, I'm going to lift up the crab thing. Oh, now they're all trying to kill us.
We never found out about that alien's hat either.
No.
Never.
I think, personally, it's like either, as Jerry said, the ball is the brain, because that is the consciousness. But I think maybe the crab thing might have... I don't know. But as it moved out of range, they fell inert. So it's obviously like mind control or some sort of animation.
Maybe it's like a mind flayer.
The Mind Flayer. Do you know what? I've never placed a Mind Flayer.
No, they've never.
Legendary creature that it is.
They've never come up. We never did them on the main show. They're quite hard to do because they're one of the few monsters that is intellectual property of Wizards of the Coast. So there isn't a Pathfinder version of them. Same with Beholders. I think in first edition Pathfinder there's something that, but second edition they just dropped everything that was legally wobbly.
I'm sure there were letters.
Yeah, so you'd have to get like a weird third-party version of it. But also, I've never really thrown one at you because they're very, very dangerous, and they're monsters you have to prepare for. And I tend not to try and throw monsters that require a lot of preparation at you guys because you do like to sit at the pants it. And it feels like an encounter where you turn up and you just lose because you didn't do the homework always feels a bit unsatisfying if you're not used to that kind of thing. So we don't tend to do those kinds of fights.
Yeah, and also, because given the range of stuff, usually the quests are like, go in there and fetch something. We don't know what's in there, so you're like, well, I can't really prepare everything you might need, like adamantium swords, for instance. Dan?
I believe in a home game there has been a Mind Flayer who ran a casino. There was a Mind Flayer crime boss in it. This wouldn't mean anything to you, Dangerlings. This wouldn't mean anything if it was on the main show. It certainly doesn't mean anything on the Patreon show. But yeah, we fought a Mind Flayer in a home game once. It was all right. I think you bargained with it and left. But there you go. But that was not what you fought here. Is not a Mind Flayer. I'll give you that much. But it is something different. The balance of this show, like. Almost the first half of this show is all building up to you playing a game of poker. And from the point the cards hit the table, everything just goes to hell. And people go insane, people are killed, there are aliens. The ramp up is so suddenly sharp. This is one of these shows where it's like, if you quit watching it after 3 episodes, you have no idea what the show is actually about.
Yeah. And then suddenly people are raving about it 8 episodes in, and you're like, what? It was so boring. It's like, oh man, what about episode 4? It's like, fuck, I stopped at 3. Yeah, I was expecting things to kick off after the poker game because it had that sort of onus on it. But oh my god, that game where it's just like, sanity check. Sanity check. It was like, oh god, like it was mental. How do you think we've done, Dan? thus far.
Well, this is the nice thing about Delta Green is it is not really a game about doing well or doing badly. And actually, I find the not knowing how well you did to be part of the joy of it. Often you will finish a Delta Green mission and you'll come away and you'll be like, did we win? Did we lose? Did we help? I don't know. It's just like we're alive, but I don't know if what we did was the right thing or if we made things worse and that's part of the mystery of it. That's part of Delta Green isn't about solving problems. It is about preventing catastrophe. And it's so sometimes it's like, okay, we got through is good.
Yeah. I seem to remember, maybe some of the other guys can remember it a bit better, because I remember very little about it, even though I watched it loads. But the X-Files often used to end with like, well, that was weird, into the filing cabinet. And, so it's kind of along those veins where it's like, well, I guess we'll never know. But yeah.
Were you expecting aliens?
I guess so. I think so. I mean, considering it's, yeah.
I want to know, well, the van. I want to go and investigate the van, because I don't feel it had a link, and whether or not we caused this thing to appear, or it just appeared, I don't know. But I wasn't really expecting, I don't know what I was expecting, really.
I don't think I was expecting aliens to walk up to us and ask us to help with their dog.
I was about to, I was quite surprised as well that they were just literally the most aliens in the world. I was like, really? Wow, that is so 1998. XCOM's been out for a bit, X-Files on TV.
Then the thing in the craft that was something else entirely. I like that. That's one of those things where it's like you roll sanity, and even if you pass, you lose some sanity. This thing exists. Like there's no avoiding that.
Fuck is that, man?
We've had a couple of things where you've become adapted. You're starting to become adapted to certain kinds of to violence or to helplessness. You can become adapted to it to the point that it doesn't affect you as badly. But of course, by that point, you've usually taken a whole load of damage from other things. But the one thing you can never become adapted to is the unnatural. So things that are completely beyond this world will always shake you, no matter how many times you see them, because it's just it just shakes your awareness of everything. And it's the knowledge that affects not just you, but it affects the whole world, and it affects your loved ones. And part of the projecting onto the bonds and losing the relationship with your bonds, it represents the stress taking a toll on your relationships. It also represents the fact that you're kind of, as you become connected to these things, as you become aware of these things, you realize the danger that they pose to the people that are close to you. Whether it starts to eat away at the idea that if they're close to you, then are they in danger? It's not these things that you're witnessing don't just endanger your life and your own sanity. They endanger everyone you know. And the closer you are to them, the closer the people you know are to them. So the horror spreads way beyond that. Oh, it's lovely, isn't it?
It's cool, yeah. And it's true as well. Like, if you saw something totally not of this world or whatever, you'd just be like, I don't get how rock solid your sanity is. You'd just be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And questioning as well. If that exists, what else exists? And yeah.
It is so much is just based on the idea that things are how they are. And if suddenly a tiny crack appears in that, how quickly those cracks spread. Well, let's spread a few more cracks, shall we? Oh, dear.
Oh dear.
Oh my God. Speaking of unseeable things.
We were doing so well. Dangerlings. Right.
Jeez.
Let's see how we go. Like I say, I think this is probably the last episode, but we'll see, because there's a few things to wrap up, so we'll see how we do on it. But it's certainly the last one of 2022. So enjoy that. Been a lot of Patreon adventures in 2022. Danger Things, the Danger Games, and now Danger Files. A bit of a theme to it going on there.
Yeah.
We hit on a pun that worked with Danger Things, and now we're stuck to the format. So we have to keep doing things that have danger puns.
That's just what we do.
Puns is very much what we do.
We're going to get to danger stuff eventually, aren't we? Like, just danger. Yeah.
Danger. So let's pick up with Norman, with Pete, and with Flake, who are just sort of standing in the... you're standing in the doorway of the alien ship. And as you're standing, the glow from around the doorway goes out and the ship goes dark. Pete, you are holding on to Tully. He's keeping you up after your leg was horribly savaged by the creature. All of you are quite battered and bruised where these things have hit you. So you've got sort of black eyes and some... you probably, with the damage you've taken, I'm not sure you've necessarily got broken bones, but yeah, you were in a fight. And you are feeling that.
So Flake looks over and just says to Chuck,
Pete.
You're Pete. No, this is Chuck Yeager. Yeah, Pete. Sorry, I've been through a lot. Pete, your leg. It's looking bad.
It's it was that crab thing.
I know, yeah. Let me have a quick look at it. I'm going to try first aid, which went so well against the Major. Here we go. Am I going to poke my fingers in the wound or make it better? It's it's a 33 under 40.
Oh, critical success.
Nice.
Oh my goodness. Okay, you are able to...
Don't worry, when I was in the Gurkhas, I learned how to seal wounds like this on the
you rip some strips of clothing off and you bind the wound and you stop the bleeding. You make it...
nice.
And that will restore a few hit points. I'll let you know how many in a minute.
He's wearing a tank top sort of vest, and he does that thing where he grabs the front and goes and just then binds the wound.
That is impressive. Okay, you managed to.
Thank you.
It's all right.
And so, you are able to kind of limp now with that. You need a bit of help to move easily, but it still hurts, but...
I can use the spear, surely.
You could.
Yes, you could use... you can use the spear.
Norman's nicked it.
Okay.
Is Norman going to give it back?
Do you need this?
I think we're out of danger. You can have it when we're in danger again, but I might need
maybe I take the knife off, and otherwise you'll just stab yourself.
I won't stab myself. I'll hand it back to you when there's danger. It's better to have a reach.
All right.
Than a poker snooker.
Poker che.
1d4 and then it's doubled. That's how many hit points are restored. So probably going to be quite a lot.
1d4 and doubled. It could be as many as 2 hit points. 1d4. Oh, I got 4, so 8.
8 hit points back. There you go.
Amazing, which is full health.
Back to full health. Nice.
I literally, he chews up some of the cloth and gobs it into his hand and sticks it on the wound and actually replaces the tendons in your leg
What's
with
in your saliva, man?
I eat a lot of grits and a lot of health drinks. I'm 50% vitamin B, so fucking...
I feel the grits flow through me.
Do you feel it?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my leg is regrowing somehow. I feel right as rain.
Fuck, I love grits.
It's like Popeye.
Should we search the rest of this weird ship? Or should we go and search the van?
Oh, the ship seems endless. Let's go look at the van. Okay. And that thing took off. I think we should try to get to it. Aircraft and follow it, maybe.
Maybe it's just gone. I mean, look at it. By the time we got a plane in the air, and they wouldn't work anyway.
Why don't we use this plane?
What?
Why don't we use this craft?
The alien craft.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a book. Let me check the manual in the flight.
Car that was crashed by aliens.
Yeah, it might be in the Flight Simulator 98 manual. Hold on.
I don't know. I don't.
I don't think it's gonna be. And by the way, Norman, for a quiet, shy guy, you're a stone cold fucking killer, man.
Yes.
I've never seen paper wielded like that since I was in the Chinese Origami Brigade. Let me tell you, them guys can throw a swan like 60 meters.
My God, man. We're all surprised and amazed by your deadly instinct. How many men have you killed today?
Oh,
Man and aliens.
oh! I'm putting it up to chalk it up to another one on my list. Ooh-wee.
Holy shit! Like, yeah, Flake nods respectfully to Norman. He's like, yeah, let's go check out the van.
You head over, so you take out the. You walk away from the craft. You kind of keep an eye out. As you look around, you see that there are 3 more grey aliens lying dead around the craft, kind of scattered amongst wreckage. Looks like they probably died in the crash or shortly afterwards. You did see them on your way in because you're terrible alertness rolls. But yeah, you've got time to look. That's why you walk past 3 dead aliens. You pass those and you duck around a few of the planes. You keep an eye on the sky, but it stays quiet. There is no sign of whatever the creature was when it flew off. And you approach the van. As you see the van, you look around. You can see that there are the 2 guards who are standing by it are lying face down on the floor. And you can see someone else slumped over the steering wheel. They're all still wearing their big, bulky helmets. And their weapons are lying clattered on the floor as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to take one of their helmets off.
Well, and Flake immediately goes and arms himself with a loaded rifle and just checks it.
I'm going to take a weapon as well.
Yeah.
Cool. You 2 of you grab they've each got an M16. Yeah, an M16 assault rifle, and they've got a sidearm as well. So you take those, check them, and they do seem to be working, and they are loaded. Meanwhile, Norman, you go and pull the helmet off one of them. As you pull it off, you can see there is blood splattered on the screen on the inside. When you pull it off, the man's head just falls limp in it. There are empty holes where his eyes were, and it looks like his head is exploded from the inside over the inside of the helmet. I want a sanity check, please, Tully.
God.
43. Let me just check. I think it's...
That's borderline, isn't it?
Well, my sanity is 31, so...
It's a little bit more than that. Oh, I suppose, actually, yes, you are going insane, so that probably explains why you're burning.
If only we'd gone to the van on the way to the craft, we would have been armed in that last encounter. Instead of paper and a stick.
I mean, I like the fact that we went
proper, right past it.
I'd say we went medieval on their asses, but we went Ryman's on their asses, didn't we? Really, it's just like,
oh, that's another 1 point of sanity tally as you see the horrible mess of this person. Do you go through a breaking point because of that?
No, my breaking point is 26.
Nice. Well, then give yourself a check against violence as becoming adapted towards violence from seeing this grotesque scene. And as you kind of look around the other ones, you see that they seem to have suffered a similar fate. You can see blood splattered on the inside of the helmets, on the visors, lying unmoving.
I think they're dead.
Yeah, I think they're probably dead, yeah.
What do you think killed them, Tully?
I don't know. Whatever's in this van, maybe, or maybe that thing used its call and blew their heads up. I don't know.
Maybe whatever these guys were doing called that crystal thing, and they thought they'd be protected with those helmets, but I wonder why their heads blew up and ours didn't. Let's check the van.
Let's check the inside of the van. You want to have a look?
Swing open the back, because the back doors are open, aren't they?
No, the back doors are now closed. They were open earlier, but you can see they've been closed. As you look through the window, you can see there is a glow coming from inside. It looks like there is something glowing inside the van.
I'm going to prep my sidearm.
Okay.
And I'm going to aim it at the door. I'm going to stand back.
Yeah.
It's all right. I got this. Flake goes up, M16 in one hand. So, you ready? Well, let's do this. Ka-chink. And he opens the door if it's unlocked. He pulls the handle.
It is locked when you pull it.
Okay.
Can I try and strength it open?
You can try and strength it open, yes. Strength times 5 check.
Oh my god. I got 0 and 0.
That is 100.
Wow. Damn it!
It's a critical fail,
This does it way stronger than I thought.
You pull so hard that you pull something in your arm and drop the rifle in pain. One of your arms is now injured. You take 1 hit point of damage. You've torn a muscle, torn a ligament.
It would have been the
muscle.
rifle arm. It would have been my other one that was trying to open the door. So I was like, fuck.
Let's see, I've got this.
Shit, that really hurt.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot the lock.
You point the gun at it and pull the trigger. The bullet bounces off and hits the floor. It is an armoured truck.
Yeah, man. Don't do that today.
When you check the windows, you realise it's bulletproof glass.
So are the front doors locked as well?
Check the front doors are also locked. Yeah.
Don't worry, stand back.
Oh, Christ.
I'll do this. So I rip off my other arm of my shirt.
Just rip off your arm.
To show my glistening muscles.
Rick Moranis strides towards the truck.
And I got 20 under my 35 times 5 strength score.
What? So, okay. So Rick Moranis is going to do it where...
Fucking Tully, whereas the Man Mountain failed, Rick Moranis will succeed.
Tully, you ridiculous human. You kind of brace yourself and just put a foot against the door and just heave. And the lock suddenly kind of prizes. You manage to wrench the door open a little bit to get a little bit of a gap in there. And then you're able to kind of get the butt of the rifle in between the two of you and just kind of...
So, I feel like because of what just happened there, we should both roll sanity checks.
The Hulk just pull.
I can tell you right now
that's happening.
Flake is both impressed and also disappointed in himself. He's like, is it possible I do a first aid check on my shoulder to try and pop it back in or whatever it is? I got 40, which is my first aid score.
So you make it. Okay, so the door kind of opens and then there's a crack as Flake puts his shoulder back in.
Fuck.
I did it, guys.
Yeah, I saw that, Norman.
Yeah, we saw. Very impressive.
You're a man of fucking hidden talents, man.
I got strong hands, that's why.
I'd better start playing this Microsoft Flight Simulator 98. Seems to give you weird skills.
He then takes a puff of his inhaler as well. Oh
my God. You peer into the van. Inside the van, there are a number of things. So this is in the back of the van. There are 2 men who appear to be wearing lab coats. They are also wearing the bulky helmets. They are lying face down on the floor. They've just collapsed on top of each other. And then at the back, the back end of the van is filled with a large electronic device. The side facing you, it looks like a metal sheet, a really thick metal sheet. It's like the thickness of a safe door with a glass window in it that is equally thick. Suspended inside on the other side of the glass window is a glowing crystal. It's held by sort of 2 clamps on either side. It's emitting this glow which sort of is lighting up the interior of it, and that's what you could have seen from outside. You recognise the crystal, and the glow seems very similar to the crystal of the alien craft. It's the same colour, same kind of style. There are a number of instruments around it. You don't quite understand what a lot of them are. One of them is reading a kind of like an oscilloscope. Every now and then it seems to peak the readings and then go back down. Looking at sort of the readouts, it seems like it was running very intensely a little while ago and now is kind of pulsing every 30 minutes or so. There's another pulse. There is a lever next to it labelled emergency shutdown, and there are a stack of papers and folders lying all over the place.
Okay.
All right. I think we might have stumbled upon something that maybe caused all this shit. Norman, is there anything about this in the Microsoft 98 Flight Simulator manual?
No.
What do you reckon?
I don't know. Can I pick up one of the folders?
Well, he does that as well. I just want to check the lever if it's been pulled to engage.
It has not. The emergency shutdown has not been activated.
Can I check to see if any of the scientists are wearing watches?
Yeah, one of them has got a wristwatch on.
Is it working?
No, it has stopped.
What time did it stop?
It stopped on. I'm going to test me now. I think it was 8 p.m. It was the point at which the alien craft appeared.
Okay.
That's when it is stopped.
Maybe this crystal, bought this thing here.
Yeah, I think this might have called the other crystal, maybe. Like a magnet.
What is looking into the folders and like stuff?
You flip through the folders and you find the first one you open is labeled Top Secret /Orcon/Sonnet. You open the first folder and it says device number 5491. And you flip open to have a look at the first page on it. And Norman, do you want to read out what you can see?
Approved for field test against UAC 8th of the 22nd of the 8th, 1998.
1998.
1898. Reclamation operations are to follow any successful test. Platte AFB, Platte County, Nebraska, 12 personnel. See attached dossiers. Non-move dust personnel expendable. Casualty to be retained for autopsy and tissue sampling. Pluto authorization. P. Bimmel. A. Dempsey.
Goddamn, a high-yield EM screen.
What does this mean?
I mean, it means that...
Electromagnetic screen.
Yeah, and it means that they didn't give a shit about us. Expendable my ass.
As you kind of look through the other ones, you see contained within it are personnel files for all of the personnel at Platt, including yourselves. They don't look like kind of really detailed like intelligence dossiers, but they seem to be like the personnel files that would be on file with the Air Force for you all.
All right.
So they were using this base as a testing facility or something.
It says they were going to do autopsies on it. If we were casualties, they'd do autopsies on our bodies.
Yeah. So either this test was a resounding success or is a resounding failure.
Well, judging by the fact that all these scientists here are dead, I think it was the latter.
Right. Moon dust.
Has anybody been to the moon?
Shut the fuck up, Teddy. It's 1998, not fucking 1898. Not that you know the difference. 1998.
So
I don't know how this helps us right now.
that thing went off at a really high speed. I don't know if we're going to be able to catch it in one of the planes here.
No, it'll be long gone
at this stage. Whatever this did, it summoned that alien crystal car outside and kill all these scientists at the same moment.
Do you think we should pull the emergency shutdown?
I guess so.
Seems like a good thing to do. Or do we want to go explore the ship first?
Let's just pull the fucking lever.
All right. Pull it, Tully.
All right.
What happens as soon as you pull it, the mechanical clamps on the crystal release and the crystal drops into a section of the contraption below and a lid snaps shut. The van immediately goes dark and the kind of low hum you thought you could hear goes out. And as you stand there in the quiet for a minute, you suddenly start to hear a tick and you realise that the wristwatch on the scientist's wrist has started ticking again.
That means all the tech on the base is going to stop working again.
Looking at the, if you want to look at the thing a bit more, you realise that the base of it is probably made of lead.
I see, it's got a lead box. So I thought the clock stopped when these men were killed, but it could be that's not true. They could have been killed after the event.
No, I think you're right, and I think that the watches stopped as soon as they turned this doohickey on, and they wanted to test it, and it went horribly wrong, and then fucked them up. And now we turn it off, everything started working again.
That's when it just happened. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Good. I'm glad we said that again. I'm saying that it's not necessarily true that these fuckers died at the same time as the equipment stopped working.
I mean,
could have been something else that killed them.
I mean, look at them. Their fucking brains have exploded from the inside. You ever seen a man like that?
No.
In all my years and all the armed forces I spent all around the world in training, I ain't never seen a man's head explode like that.
No. I mean, you have now, so that's something.
I have now. I've seen a bunch of them all together.
I know, I saw them too. They're there, right there.
I know.
Right there in front of us.
But not just one, not two, all of them.
That's
their brains
great.
explode.
Are we suddenly in a radio play?
Yeah. I'm just painting a picture for our listeners. Wait, what the fuck are we doing in this dark van? I'm going outside. This place stinks.
I burned a guy to death.
Yeah, you did, Tully.
Okay,
yeah,
good. Let's
did.
go check on the crystal car, see if it's still there.
Okay.
I have a feeling.
You
Might
head
not
back
be.
over to the crystal car. You can see, looking back over, you can see some of the lights on the base have started to come back on since you turned it off. You head over to where the crashed craft is, and it is still there. It is still there, and the door is still open. So you're able to go back inside.
I think we should go left.
Yeah. Have a look down the left-hand passage. That appears to be like a storeroom. As you look through it, there seems to be containers. They seem to contain lots of weird objects, human objects. You find things like personal items, wallets, watches, glasses. You find a watch among them. As you pick over and turn over and look at the engraving on the back, the engraving says for Jenny, 10/5/55. There are a couple of drawers that look like they're made of plastic on one side of the room that look kind of different. They're about 3 feet deep, and there are a pair of them. If you take hold of them, depends. Do you want to open the drawers?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to like what we're going to find in these drawers, but...
You put hands on the plastic drawers and you pull them open. Inside are cavities in the same shape as the grey aliens. And they're kind of wet to the touch when you touch them, and they smell like burnt cardboard. Like moulds, almost, that these things would have gone in. And you pull out each drawer, but they're all empty.
So I don't think there's aliens. I think they maybe were just like puppets.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying, Pete?
That's what I feel. That's what I feel about them. They're not actually life forms. They are. Remember, they said they were we, or something like that when we asked them their name. We are we, or something. I mean, it was a while ago, but yeah, something like that was said. So I think there's some sort of gestalt. Is that the word? I think it's the word.
I think they're more like flesh. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the wounds on the aliens, they were real things. They weren't made of cardboard and anything like that.
But there wasn't any blood.
Could be rubber.
It could be rubber.
But did they
Maybe
bleed?
that's what they are. They're rubber.
They didn't bleed, no.
They didn't bleed.
It was like stabbing rubber almost. It did leave injuries, but there wasn't any liquid that any blood that came out of it.
All right, should we search the other room? Looks like whatever this is has been at it for quite a long time. Since 1990 to 55.
You head down the other side and you find the other room has a faint glow coming from it. It's a round clay room. All of it seems to be clay. This is covered in a kind of almost like a luminous white fungus seems to be on the ceiling. All over the ceiling it's growing and it's letting out a glow that fills this room with a white light. In the center of the room there is what looks like a human-sized examination chair. It has restraints on it, and there's a table with a load of odd-looking medical tools on it. You can see knives and probes and forceps and things like that lying around it.
Some sort of examination room.
Yeah.
What are these spores, though?
Gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Maybe these are the things that have sent all the guys insane on the plant.
On what?
On the plant.
Platt Air Force Base.
Yeah, the Platt Air Force Base.
Where we live.
Right,
Remember and
okay.
work.
Yeah, no, I just
Base we
didn't
work and live
I
on.
just didn't really I didn't really understand his one word there. I thought he said plan.
I know. It didn't make a lot of sense.
Plan.
I feel like there was a time maybe when Norman was like, let's make it our thing. We'll start referring to it as the Platt. And everyone's like, no.
No, Norman.
No.
Oh, the Platt.
Get back in your cupboards, Norman. Get back in your cupboards.
Okay, so we've got an examination room. We've got a room with a trap dog in it. And then we've got that room with the storage. And that's it.
Is there any more So there's no more areas to explore.
No, that's
Nope.
all there is in here.
I'd like to go back. Go back in the room where the two aliens are sort of dead.
Yeah.
And Flake gets his knife, spins it in his hand, and then just carves down the chest of one of them just to see what's inside.
You carve it in and you kind of prise the rubbery skin open, and kind of liquid does come out once you get deep enough. It's just clear liquid, and you can see there are organs, but you're not a doctor. It's hard to know kind of what they do. It kind of just a load of guts kind of spilling out. So as you're doing it, let's get some alertness checks from everyone while you're carving up aliens, just to see if you notice anything.
That's a 41 under 60.
41. Nice.
86.
I got a 0 and a 6. Can I use that?
That is 6.
Yay,
Well, it
okay.
depends which one you're using as the 10s. Like you should have. Normally, you've got with the D10s, you've got one that's got two numbers
Yeah,
on
I've
it.
got a
and one's
different colour.
one.
That was the first one I rolled. The 0.
that's
6
6.
under 60.
Okay, so two of you. I don't think Pete does, but the other two of you, you hear after a little while of searching, you hear a helicopter above approaching. Shit,
Oh,
gets louder.
what do we
or something.
do?
What's wrong? What do you mean? What do we do? What's wrong?
There's a sound of a helicopter
What?
coming.
Helicopter? I was distracted by my
Now listen.
past.
Now listen, I don't know about you, but
I
we
was
already
thinking
know
about my life just then.
Don't do that. I don't know about you, but they said we're expendable. So maybe if we've been poking around here and learned too much, you might still think we're expendable. I think we should get outside.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Is there any outside? Is there any? All the planes are locked up, aren't they?
They are, yeah, and the like the mothball planes are not usable. They're not a.
But is there any ones we can hide in or something?
Yeah, you can
Right.
absolutely get inside one and hide in it. That's you can.
Maybe
yeah.
we go to the one that in the warehouse where we found the guy with the scratches on his face.
In the one plane in that warehouse.
Yeah.
What about one of the planes? Where there's a million planes here, we can hide in one of them,
Oh,
as opposed to one of the planes
okay.
in a where I think that's more. Do you feel? I feel that's a better hiding place.
I just wanted to check on something because now
You want to check on your Microsoft Flight Simulator?
well, I just checked that the computer's
You
okay.
can go.
God's
You
sake,
can go.
Tully.
You can go do that, Tully. You can go check on your motherfucking mic, and you probably kill a couple of men while doing it. I think we should probably hide where they're not going to find us instead of just going to check on your program.
Yeah, we'll just see who it is.
All right, fine, okay. We hide in the nearest
Not the nearest one. Let's walk on a bit. I mean, I don't want to right next to
Well,
the.
I want.
Can we
in one
hide in
that's-
a random one? Like,
It's a random one, but I want to see what goes on. So one
Yeah.
was a view of,
Yeah,
like,
you pick one on the edge of the boneyard, but not directly next to the van or the the spaceship.
climb in.
You sort of climb into the plane. You pull some of the covers aside so that you can peer out through the cockpit canopy and see. Give me stealth checks to get through the boneyard to this thing.
No. Okay, I got 73 out of 10.
Oh, it's a 93. I am so bad at stealth. 93 over 50.
Just singing a song.
Oh, what about you, Predator Tully?
Do you want to know?
Yes.
I got a 3.
Oh, of course you did. Of course you did.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Of course you did.
Literally, you dump a stat and then you aced it.
Fucking 0 again and then 3.
Fucking hell.
You ridiculous person. You make your you all kind of make your way across as you're going across the boneyard. The sound of helicopter blades gets louder. An Apache helicopter makes it like a gunship, makes a pass over the base, and it seems to do kind of a loop over the base. Norman, you kind of are under one of the planes as it happens. The two of you are out in the open and dart underneath, but it goes right overhead as you're out in the open. You see it do a pass of the whole base and then hovers for a little while in the air a little way away. And by the time you make it to the plane and get on board, you can hear the sound of a second helicopter. And as you pull yourself in and peer out through the canopy, you see a Black Hawk helicopter come flying in, hover low over the ground near the staff centre, and ropes come out, and you see a number of men sliding down the ropes. and landing and taking up positions and begin moving around the staff centre. A few of them go off. They seem to move efficiently. Flake, especially, you recognise this, having been in special forces. Like these are commandos. You see them secure the building.
The building? Which building?
The staff centre. So kind of where the NCO
okay.
office, the administration area, things like that.
Yeah.
They secure that first, and you see them bringing several people out. The people have their hands in the air, but they're not kind of like, they don't line them up and shoot them or anything. They just kind of bring them outside. There's sort of a bit of a talk, and then a few of them, you see them break off and go in the direction of the control tower. And if you wait long enough, after a little while, you hear an exchange of gunfire coming from the control tower, and then two of them come back. One of them is missing. Two of them come back, and you see them kind of keep talking.
Maybe we should go and say hello.
Do you think? I mean,
maybe I stay here. They didn't. I don't think they saw me.
No,
I stay here and be your Overwatch.
I don't even know where the fuck you are. Literally, I lost sight of you and you just disappeared again. It's weird. Okay, well, you can stay here if you want, Tully. I think
give me the M16 and I'll give you.
No, Tully, no. You're literally, you can kill people with a piece of paper. If I give you an M16, we're all dead. We're all dead. I think we're gonna have to go and face the music at some point, and we didn't do anything. What do you think?
I don't massively agree. I don't agree with any of that.
I mean, you can stay.
I don't really feel like we can really go over. I mean, although my ex-wife is the Secretary of Defense, so maybe that'll help.
What do we think we should do, guys? Do you think we should go over, or should we stay?
I'm gonna stay here. Watch out things. I don't trust them. They just, I don't know. We should just have a look and see what they're gonna do with the rest of those guys lined up.
All right.
Yeah, let's see what they do with those guys.
All right.
Okay. You watch a little longer, and you see lights near the main gate, and you see several trucks pulling up and arriving, and you see more people getting out. They seem to be talking, and you can see that they seem to be talking with some of the others, some of Operation Meat Shield. They don't seem to be. They haven't handcuffed them. They're talking, and you see them bringing stuff. You see them bringing like those silver blankets out and wrapping a few of them in it, and then and then they start loading them onto the trucks. And several of your compatriots start getting on board the trucks. You also notice, after a little while, one of the jeeps start driving up the road towards the boneyard, where all of you are, and you can see that there are a team of about 5 people in it. 5 of the commandos driving up in your direction.
We gotta just wait. Come on, we just gotta wait.
Let's just wait. Let's wait this one out.
All right.
You wait it out, and you watch as they secure the van first. They check it all over. They secure the thing. Then they head over to. Then you lose sight of them as they head into the boneyard. And you guess that they're going for the. Ship. Then you start to hear footsteps outside of the plane, and you hear someone calling out, "Hello, hello." Are there any survivors here?
Fuck.
We saw some people out here. We're here to help.
Tully, you stay here. They didn't see you.
Yeah.
We'll go out.
Yeah, we're here.
We're here. This is, Pete Yeager.
Yeah, it's Flake Pifkin.
You come out here. Yeager, Pifkin. My name's Michaels. I'm part of the U.S. Army. He salutes you as you come down outside.
Snap him a salute.
Yeah.
Glad to see you made it out. It's quite a disaster that's gone on here.
Yeah, there's been some weird shit.
Yeah, what the hell happened? We lost good men today.
It's above my pay grade to say, but if you'll come with me, we can debrief you fully.
All right. Let's go.
He says, we've still got one member of the base missing. Do you know where Airman Tully is?
Tully? I don't know. He's
I don't know. It could be anywhere right now. He could be miles away. He's a master of disguise. Man, he's literally one with the desert, man.
Oh my god! And they take the two of you to the jeep, where there are several of them. Michael shakes his head as he comes out. He goes, "Pifkin and Jaeger, no sign of Tully." The man nods. Says, "Keep looking. Could be armed like the one in the control tower. Watch your backs out there."
I tell you what, the guy's he's soft. He's like marshmallow. He's got the softest hands I've ever experienced. Literally, I shook his hand once. It gave me the creeps. Man's not done a hard day's work in his life.
You get into the van, get into the jeep, and they drive you back to the others, where everyone is kind of in shock. You see Geiger and LaCroix is being seen to by a doctor, and they're wrapped up in their in the blankets and trying to feel better. Tully, you stay put. A couple of them kind of look around the boneyard for a while, but
have they disarmed us?
Yes, they take the weapons. They do take They do it in a kind of a way of helping you as you get in. Like as they help you up into the jeep, they take your weapons away from you, but they do take them from you. Yeah. But they don't seem to be outwardly hostile. As you get there, you meet their commanding officer, who again salutes you. Need to take you for immediate debriefing. He looks at Jaeger's leg and some of the bruises and the recently dislocated shoulder of Flake.
Yeah.
Says, "We'll get you some medical attention as well. You've done well today, soldiers."
Thanks.
I need to get on to my ex-wife. She's the Secretary of Defense. We were talking about this earlier, before the power went out.
We'll, of course, you'll have plenty of time for that. You're escorted onto one of the helicopters that lands. Everyone boards the you board a couple of helicopters, and they take off. Tully stays.
I just love the idea of like Tully, the desert man, going slowly mad on this abandoned airbase. Like
Well, you know where he's immediately going when everyone goes. Back into his little cupboard.
So we're gonna follow. We're gonna stay with Flake and Jaeger. You are flown to. You're flown quite a way.
Has anyone seen a dog called Leper?
Leper is brought with you. Leper is rescued from the houses as well.
There you are, Leper.
And you hear completely. Jesus, did you see the state of that guy? Burned alive. What the hell happened? You are all taken to Offutt Air Force Base in Omaha.
Omaha.
Yeah, you're taken to Omaha, so a little way from where from where Platt is. You're taken to a medical center, to an army hospital, and you are all treated. You are treated for your injuries. You receive excellent care, but with your high alertness, you get the sense: is it almost too good care? Like for an army hospital, they're paying really close attention to you, checking a lot of different things. You almost get the impression that you're being examined. After a day or so of rest, you're taken for debriefing, where you are sat down kind of individually with a man in a suit, a man in an Air Force uniform.
Is it the man with the suit and the face?
Man with the suit and the face.
Yeah.
Sits you
Knew
down
that
and
he was
says,
there on the case.
"Lieutenant Jaeger, I want to thank you for all of the work you've done. It seems like it was quite a difficult situation there on the base. I imagine you have a lot of questions."
Yeah, you could say that.
My name is Captain Dipchek. My job is to try and answer as many of you. It's been written on an envelope since that name came up. Had to get it back in. My job is to answer as many of your questions as I can. I'm sure you're curious as to what happened there.
Yeah, somewhat.
I'm not authorized to tell you everything. I can tell you that an experimental electromagnetic weapon was being stored on the base. Unfortunately, it malfunctioned, killed the people looking after it, and released a powerful energy wave, which caused incredibly vivid hallucinations to everybody within the blast radius. It would have been enough to confuse you, would have been enough to make things seem real, make you visualize things, even hear things. It was never part of how it was designed, and it's incredibly troubling. I want to apologize on behalf of the U.S. military for the fact that you had to go through this. By way of apology, the U.S. Air Force is offering all personnel an immediate honorable discharge from the Air Force with full benefits, as well as a compensation for each of you of $25,000.
$25K, eh?
To help you set up your...
50. I've been honorably discharged from pretty much every armed force in this world.
He's got a lot of pensions.
Yeah, I've never been paid less than 50. Come on, we could have died out there.
Flake really needs one of those consolidate your pensions things.
Yeah.
We think that is more than $25,000 is more than fair and should be enough to help you establish whatever you want in terms of your own projects. I should point out, however, that the events at the Air Force Base, because of the nature of the weapons that were being tested and their need to protect America, that the entire case has been classified as top secret.
Of course. Before we sweep it all under the carpet as a mass hallucination, which I'm completely willing to go along with, do you actually want to first possibly debrief us about things you don't know about?
And hang on, if it was a hallucination, we went in that ship.
Yeah.
We fought those rubber things.
Let's leave that. I think the gentleman here knows that what actually happened, but he doesn't know about that. There's a bogey got out of the ship and flew away from the base before you arrived.
Yeah.
Now, I'm willing to accept that it was a hallucination, but before we say it was, I think it's something you should be aware of.
Well, that's... Thank you for sharing that, Lieutenant Jaeger. That's good of you to say. But again, I should stress that you were all subject to a mass hallucination. I know it seems real, but I can tell you there was no ship, there was no van, and you saw nothing in the night sky.
Of course.
All right.
Well, I'm glad that we understand one another.
Yeah. Tell me, did you find Tully?
We're still looking.
Goddamn.
Never found his body.
Wonder what could have happened to him.
Don't worry. We'll find him. He stands up, salutes, and walks out. And we fast forward to 6 months later. Let's start with Jaeger. What is Jaeger doing with his life 6 months on from what happened in Platt? With 25 grand in his pocket and an honorable discharge from the Air Force.
I guess he's maybe he's living in San Francisco, and he has set up. He's trying to sell art. He owns a loft apartment overlooking the bay, and he's trying to sell art based around the events he witnessed at Platt, but changed enough so that the military won't take notice. He's trying to recreate what he saw. He's in his attic, feverishly trying to recreate what he saw in oil paint. And at the same time, running an art class, a really acerbic art class that generally gets people maybe once, they come once and they never come again because of the cloud of cigarette smoke and the swearing and the general abuse they get. That's what he's doing.
Nice. You are busy painting. There is a knock at the door. Leper looks up and looks at the door as he hears the knock.
Okay. I take a pistol from I grab a sidearm and I have it like cocked behind the door as I slowly open it on the chain.
Yeah, you slowly open it on the chain. There's nobody there. There's a newspaper. Today's newspaper is there, lying on the floor in front of you.
Right. I pick it up.
You pull the newspaper in. You realise that there's a post-it note has been inserted in it to mark a particular page.
Fuck.
You open it up, and there's a very minor story, a footnote, saying former airman killed in car crash. It reports Airman Theodore LaCroix and lists formerly of U.S. Air Force. It was killed today in a car accident. Looks like he was still in Nebraska. It notes that nobody else was involved. It happened on a remote road. He was thought to be taking a long road trip. The car was found off the road in a ditch. As you look at it, a business card falls out of the newspaper and lands at your feet. You pick it up. It is green on one side. It has nothing on it except a phone number. We'll move over to Flake Pipkin. Flake, what is Flake doing 6 months on?
It's a hot, dusty scene, and Flake is walking out the gates of a compound for training Ghanaian commandos. He signed up to the Ghanaian commando unit and has been discharged again. And he sits down a rock near the gate, just sort of looks out. It's just a dusty road, sort of waiting for a lift. And he gets a book out of his pocket and starts flicking through it. And that book is the Microsoft Flight Simulator 98 instruction manual.
Yes.
He just starts flicking through, just sort of like nodding, going, yeah. He's just got like one of those green bags on his back. That's it. I thought Charlemagne.
A car comes driving. So you're in Ghana.
I'm in Ghana, yes.
Okay.
Luck trying to get a newspaper article in Ghana.
A plume of dust rises up and a car comes driving along and pulls to a stop next to you. In the driver's seat is a woman wearing sunglasses with her hair braided. She looks out the window and says, Flake Pefkin?
Yeah.
You're a long way from home.
Yeah. I felt I needed some time away.
Sometimes we all want time away. Time away from things maybe we've seen. Maybe time away from people who we think might see us. You've gone a long way, Flake Pifkin, but people can still find you.
So it seems.
My name is Ms. Green. I wondered if you're curious about what happened 6 months ago.
You mean the mass hallucination?
If that's what you want to call it.
Well, I guess maybe I am a little curious. You going my way?
I think we might have some things to talk about. Care for a ride to the airport?
Yeah, I guess I could. He stands up, and he sort of like folds up the manual, sticks his back pocket, and then gets in the car.
She starts to drive and says, We need to find somewhere else for you. Here's not safe anymore. They know you're here.
All right.
I imagine you have questions.
Yeah, I got questions.
I can answer some of them, but not all.
All right. I mean, how much do you know about what happened 6 months ago?
Call it a squabble between families. There is a faction of the intelligence community, one with more ambition than sense, one determined to sell out our country to invaders for a little bit of peace. What happened back there was a squabble between those people. But make no mistake, they're dangerous, and they're powerful. She taps the glove compartment in front of you. If you open it up, there is the same newspaper article about the death of Theodore LaCroix in a car crash. And it seems that bribes are not going to be enough for them anymore.
All right.
You can travel a long way. You can try and find a new country, Flake Pifkin. You can find a new special forces to join, and you can hope that they don't find you. But I can tell you, the president himself couldn't protect himself from these people if they really wanted to.
And you can.
You can take your own chances, or you can come with us.
These people are after me then.
If they're not now, they will be soon.
All right.
You've seen things, Pifkin.
Oh yeah, I've seen things. I've stabbed things. I tried to fight a fire by battering it with a fire extinguisher. I've seen a man burn alive. his flesh fused into the gun so badly that the gun just fell apart. I had nothing to do with it. Just literally fell apart in my hands. I've seen things. And let me tell you, I'll come along with you. But there's 2 guys you need to find. And that's Pete. And the other guy. Norman. And then you got yourself a Pifkin.
Well, Mr. Pifkin, I think maybe we can have a conversation about that. The car pulls away. Flake, your plane lands back on US soil. Ms. Green leads you across the tarmac, not to the terminal, leads you directly to an aircraft hangar, which is empty, apart from a car that has pulled up. And as you enter the aircraft hangar, you see Pete. Pete, did you call the number?
Yes.
Pete, you called the number, and you were told to meet somebody outside. You were picked up and you've been driven here. And this is the first time you have seen Flake since you were separated at the base. Flake comes walking in, I'm guessing with a tan.
It's tan.
He's been in Ghana for 6 months.
Yeah. Pete, it's good to see you again, man.
Biscuit, you son of a bitch. You're looking well.
Thanks. Had a spell in the Ghanaian Special Forces. Didn't work out.
I'm not surprised.
No. Before that, I was in a Moroccan detachment. It didn't work out either.
It's only been 6 months.
Hey, man.
Biscuit, how did you?
I mean, some of this basic training's not great, and it doesn't matter. I couldn't get what happened out of my mind,
I know, I've been the same. I've been just trying to get it out of there.
Yeah.
Through the medium of oil. Oil paint.
You're drinking oil now?
No, I'm painting. Painting.
All right, yeah, painting.
They're not very good, to be honest. They're okay.
Yeah. Tell me, have you heard from Norman?
No.
No.
Nothing.
Guy's probably still in his fucking cupboard.
You saw about LaCroix.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
She nods to you and says, this isn't where we're having the meeting. Come on. And takes you to the back of the aircraft hangar to what looks like a storage cupboard. She goes under a toolbox, takes a key out, opens the door, and there is a small cupboard, at the end of which is a computer. And sitting on a swivel chair with their back to you is a figure. The figure turns around, and Ross...
You see Norman Tully. However, he looks totally different in the 6 months that you remember him from. He has got massive arms. He is built like a brick shithouse now. He's got a buzz cut head. He's buzzed his hair, and he's not wearing glasses anymore. And he's got a scar going all the way down his right eye, and it's kind of like white a little bit, all the way down to his cheek.
Holy shit.
And he goes, "It's not a simulator anymore, pussies."
And that is the end of our story for now. It's the end of season 1 of the Danger Files.
Oh my god, guys,
Thank you.
we survived.
You survived? I can't believe
We
it.
actually survived. We all did.
Genuinely can't believe it.
Yeah.
Some of your sanity intact, some of it, some bonds damaged, some relationships damaged, and a whole new life lying ahead of you. Dangerlings, thank you so much for coming with us on this ridiculous journey. Please join us back in a couple of weeks when we will have something entirely new and something exciting on the Patreon feed for you. And we will be back with the Danger Files in the future to find out what has happened to these characters and what will happen to other characters that will enter this world as they get involved in the shady world of Delta Green. It all remains to say goodbye and a Merry Christmas from James.
Yeah, goodbye and Merry Christmas.
And from Ross.
Merry Christmas.
And from Jeremiah.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
And from myself, Merry Christmas, Dangerlings. Please roll for sanity. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Happy New Year.
Bye-bye. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Sweet dreams. Enjoy this out there.